Hello, my name is Sam David. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Sweden, Gothenburg, and I'm gonna share my testimony with you. And I hope this will bless everybody who's watching this. Okay, so it all began uh, last year. Uh, so I was a criminal before. I sold drugs. I had a lot of money. Uh, I was a drug addict, and most of the time I smoked weed, and sometimes I did cocaine, like when I was out partying or when I was at a friend's house drinking or something like that. So I had like everything. I had money, I had a car. So I was having all these material things. I could go and buy clothes for a couple of thousands, and and I was fornicating. I was doing all these things. Uh, so last summer, uh, I was like depressed. I had hatred inside of me. I was anxious. All of these things. Um, and so I was thinking like I have to leave Sweden. I'm gonna get killed or I'm gonna kill somebody. And one time I uh, I was waiting outside a guy's home because he owed me money. So I was ready to do something. So I was there for like 3 days or something, and then I heard like he's been arrested and he's in jail. So so a friend of mine, he said like, hey man, my mom got a friend in Dominica in the Caribbean, and we can go there and we can work, and we can get out of here. So I was like, yeah, I have to go. I have to leave Sweden. Um, and so we went the 4th of October last year, and we were there for almost six months until February this year. And something happened when I was down there. I had a supernatural encounter with Jesus, but I didn't know that it was Jesus. So this happened like a couple of months. I mean, maybe in November, in I don't know, during the winter sometime. So I was laying in my bed, and then this light in the shape of a man just came in front of me, and I couldn't move, I couldn't talk, couldn't speak, I couldn't do nothing. And he said like, follow me. And something just went out of my body, like some spirit or something. And I was like laying in my bed doing this, and I couldn't talk, I couldn't move, I couldn't do anything. And I woke up the day after, and everything, like the depression, all the hatred, the anxiety, everything, it just went away. And I didn't talk to my father at that point. So I contacted him after that. I was like, hey, what's up, you good? And I didn't talk to him before, so God really opened my heart. But I didn't know that this was Jesus. I thought it was a ghost or something. And so yeah, some of the months went by, and I was in the beach. I had lunch, and then I noticed that this old woman was like staring at me. She was like Canadian or American or something like that. And she was like, she came to me. She was like, uh, I'm sensing something from you, or something like that. And I was like, what? Yeah, what are you talking about? She was like, have you lost somebody in your family? I was like, yeah, my uncle. Because I blame God for that. But she wasn't a prophet or a Christian. She was actually a witch. So um, she was like, yeah, he loves you so much. He's always with you. He wants you to know that you're not alone. And you know, in that point, I didn't know that as a Christian, or like as a you can't as a human being, you can't contact the dead. So I didn't know that she was a witch, you know. And she said, "You're gonna be a leader. You're gonna be this and that and that." And I was like, "What is happening?" First I'm seeing this this light, like a ghost or something, and then this woman just comes and talks to me about my life, you know. And I was like, "What is happening to me? I'm going crazy, you know." And so the months went by, and God really opened my heart, you know. So came back to Sweden. I came back to Sweden, and I went to this conference with my grandma because she was a Christian, and I told her about everything that happened, and she was like, "Wow, you met Jesus," and and she was like, "Describe this woman," you know, and I described her, and she was like, "Yeah, she's a witch because she didn't talk about Jesus, and you can't contact her." So I was like, "Oh, okay." So I went to this conference, and they're like, "Does somebody want to receive Jesus?" And I was like, "Okay." Like, I want something, you know. I don't know what it is. I just want it, you know. And so I prayed the salvation prayer, but my heart wasn't there, you know, and I didn't know what I was doing. And so and so just wait a minute. Yeah. And so I came back to Gothenburg, my city where I live, and I was going back to my old life, you know. Uh, and then one time I was at my grandma's church. Uh, they had like a small feast, or what do you call it? Yeah. So this girl invites me to church, to another church. So I went there, and I raised my hand. I got a Bible, said a prayer, salvation prayer, but my heart wasn't there, you know. And so so yeah, my heart wasn't there. So as I got home, uh, I went on to Snapchat to snap this girl I know, because I've seen her like post Bible verses everywhere, like Facebook, Instagram, and so on. So I was like, I'm gonna send this picture to this Jesus girl, you know. And then I did that, and then she was like, "Haven't you seen my messages on Facebook?" I was like, "No, what are you talking about?" And, and my phone was messed up, you know, so I couldn't enter Facebook, so I didn't know that she sent me some messages. And this was actually earlier the day before I went to church. She sent me a couple of messages, and I was like, "No." So I was trying to go into Facebook, and as I got into Facebook, she was like, "This is gonna, this is gonna, this is gonna seem strange, but I had a dream yesterday, and God showed me everything that you have gone through, that you have blamed Him for everything that happened in your life. But He just wants you to know that He loves you, and He's always there with you." And she was just telling me everything, you know. I was like, wow, I can't deny God now, you know. And so this was a Sunday, and this was during the Easter. So yeah, on the Wednesday after the Sunday, the same week, the week after, I mean, I was in church, and a friend prayed for me, uh, and I felt the Holy Spirit for the first time, and everybody was standing up, and I was just like sitting down, you know, just crying, weeping, and I was like, "God, I just want you, you know. I want to leave everything. I just want you, you know." And they asked me like, "Do you want to get baptized?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I didn't know what baptism was, you know. It's like it wasn't me who was talking. It was like the Holy Spirit talking or something. I don't know. And as I got home, um, God spoke to me for the first time, and He was like, "So why are you?" He was talking to me through a verse in the Bible, in Acts. I think it's chapter 22, verse 16. I'm not too sure. So he's like, so what are you waiting for? Like, get baptized, you know. So the Sunday after that, I got baptized, and yeah, that's my testimony. Since March 27th of March this year, I've been saved. God bless you guys. Bye.